Have you ever wondered why some moments from your childhood still echo in your mind, even after so many years? Maybe it was a harsh word from a parent, being left out at school, or simply growing up feeling unseen or unheard. These memories might seem distant, yet they sometimes reappear as a whisper in your heart, a sense of not being enough, of never truly belonging, of always waiting for approval. I once met a man named Michael who struggled with anxiety for most of his adult life. He was successful in his career, respected by colleagues, and loved by friends. Yet at night, when everything grew quiet, he felt a deep sense of loneliness and restlessness. He would replay childhood memories, his father's silence when he brought home a less than perfect report card, his mother's anxious looks, his feeling of being a burden whenever he made a mistake. Michael told me, no matter how hard I try, I always feel like I'm failing someone. Even when things are good, I worry that something will go wrong or that I'm not enough. Does this sound familiar to you? Perhaps you too carry silent wounds from childhood, painful moments you thought you'd forgotten, but that still shape your thoughts, feelings, and reactions as an adult. Maybe you find yourself overthinking, afraid of rejection, unable to trust, or always chasing approval. Buddha once said it is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. This teaching is not about blame. It is a gentle reminder that so much of our inner turmoil comes from wounds in our own minds, wounds that often began long before we understood how deeply they would affect us. Imagine your mind as a beautiful garden. When you were a child, seeds were planted, some seeds of love, kindness, and safety, and some seeds of fear, criticism, and pain. As you grew, these seeds took root and blossomed into beliefs about yourself and the world. If the garden wasn't nurtured with warmth and care, the thorns of insecurity, anxiety, or self doubt may have grown wild. Children are incredibly sensitive. When they are ignored, punished, or made to feel not enough, they often blame themselves. They begin to believe there must be something wrong with me. These beliefs do not vanish with age. They grow quietly in the background, shaping how you see yourself and others. Are there old memories that still make you feel small or unworthy? Do you sometimes react strongly to criticism or rejection, even when it's minor? Do you find it hard to trust, relax, or feel safe, no matter how safe your life seems now? You are not alone. Many adults are haunted by invisible wounds from childhood. These wounds can manifest as anxiety, perfectionism, people pleasing, or even anger. Sometimes we try to outrun the pain by working harder, being the best, or always keeping busy. But the pain doesn't leave, it only hides. True healing begins with gentle awareness. When you acknowledge the pain without shame or blame, you start to loosen its hold on your life. I remember a woman named Emma. She always felt anxious in relationships, fearing abandonment. When she traced her feelings back, she realized it began as a child, when her parents divorced and she felt left behind. Emma had spent years thinking she was too sensitive or not strong enough. But when she met her pain with compassion, she began to heal. Buddha teaches us about mindfulness, noticing what is happening in your mind and heart without judgment. This is the first step to healing childhood wounds, not running from your pain, but gently turning toward it with the love you might have needed back then. Perhaps your heart feels heavy. Maybe you notice a tightening in your chest, a longing for comfort, or a sadness you can't quite explain. This is your inner child, the part of you that still remembers being small, afraid, and in need of love. Healing childhood wounds is not about blaming your parents or reliving old pain. It is about giving yourself the kindness, safety, and understanding you needed and still need today. Take a slow, deep breath. Know that you are not broken, just carrying wounds that are ready to be seen, heard, and healed. This is the beginning of your journey toward a peaceful mind and a loving heart. Childhood is the stage when our hearts and minds are pure and unguarded. Everything we experience as children, from a look, a word, to being cared for or neglected by adults, leaves a deep imprint. Beautiful experiences become beliefs. I am loved, I am worthy, I am safe. In contrast, moments of lacking love, criticism, abandonment, violence, or simply not being listened to can create invisible cracks in the soul. Buddha once said, "All suffering begins in the mind." This means the wounds we carry are not only caused by circumstances, but also by how our minds received and remembered them. As adults, we are no longer those fragile children, but the inner child. with fears of abandonment, not being good enough, being ridiculed, still quietly lives within us. It appears whenever we're criticized, fail, are rejected, or feel misunderstood. Signs that you are still affected by childhood wounds. Always feeling not good enough, having to try harder than others. Fear of rejection, abandonment, or easily hurt by criticism. Difficulty trusting others, always fearing betrayal. Frequently self blaming, self criticizing, and not knowing how to love yourself. Always trying to please others to gain acceptance. These emotions are not just your personality, but traces of what you experienced growing up. The concept of inner child comes from Western psychology, but it is very close to the Buddhist spirit of compassion. That inner child is the sensitive, fragile part of your soul, representing unmet needs and uncomforted pains from the past. Buddha taught us to love ourselves as a devoted mother loves her only child. When you come back and listen to your inner child, you stop denying, avoiding, or forcing yourself to be strong. You allow yourself to be weak, to cry, to feel sad or scared, without self judgment. Mindfulness is the art of recognizing and embracing every feeling and thought in the present moment without judgment. Thanks to mindfulness, you truly see your inner child. You notice fear arise whenever someone raises their voice. You notice sadness when you're rejected. You understand that intense reactions now often come from old memories that haven't been healed. When you practice mindfulness, you are no longer a victim of emotions, but a caring companion to yourself. Here are 7 steps to healing your inner child. 1. Pause and observe. When negative emotions arise, anxiety, sadness, anger, pause. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, how familiar is this feeling? Did I feel this way as a child? Just recognizing this is the first step to healing. 2. Name your inner child. Imagine yourself as a little child. Look into those eyes and feel the fears, sadness, and wounds of the past. 3. Listen and validate your feelings. Instead of denying or blaming yourself for being weak, say, I know I was really sad when that happened. It's okay to feel afraid or insecure. Validation helps your inner child feel heard and protected. 4. Speak with kindness. Place your hand on your heart and tell yourself, I love you. I am here for you. You are not alone anymore. Everything is over now. You are safe. 5. Forgive yourself and those who hurt you. Forgiveness isn't about excusing others' faults, but freeing yourself. You don't need to carry adults' mistakes. I forgive them. I forgive myself to be free. 6. Write a letter to your inner child. You can write to your inner child, sharing your pain, sending encouragement, and promising to always love and protect this vulnerable part. 7. Create new healing experiences. Each day, do something you missed out on as a child. Treat yourself kindly, take time to play or be creative, talk with safe people who listen and care. As you embrace and heal your inner child, painful memories will slowly transform into maturity, compassion, and understanding. You are no longer a victim of the past, but the leader of your own path to the light. Buddha once said, even the smallest light can dispel the darkness. Lisa was punished and scolded by her parents every time she made a small mistake. Growing up, she was afraid of making mistakes, afraid of judgment, and unable to express her true feelings. When she learned to speak with her inner child, write letters, and practice loving kindness meditation, Lisa gradually felt the warmth and gentleness she had always longed for. Lisa said, I used to think I was weak, but now I know I deserve love, no matter what. The past cannot be changed, but you can choose how to view it. With compassion, mindfulness, and small daily practices, you gradually build a steady, peaceful mind. You do not have to be perfect to deserve love. You are worthy right now simply because you are you. You cannot change the past, but you can heal it in the present. My dear friend, each of us carries invisible wounds from childhood. It might have been harsh words, a cold look, or simply the feeling that no one truly listened to us. These wounds do not disappear as we grow up. They hide deep inside, silently shaping our beliefs, fears, and the way we react to life. The miracle is, you don't have to go back and change what happened in the past, but you can heal those wounds starting today with understanding, love, and mindfulness. Tell yourself, the past has no power over my present if I learn to listen, embrace, and forgive. Now let's practice a short meditation to meet, comfort, and heal your inner child. Find a quiet place, sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes and place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale gently. Now imagine your younger self, maybe when you were 5, 10, or at any age you needed love most, appearing before you. Look into that child's eyes. You may see some shyness, sadness, fear, or a longing for a hug. Approach and gently hug that child and whisper, I am here with you. I hear all your pain. Now you are safe, loved, and don't have to be afraid anymore. Stay in this warm feeling for a few minutes, letting gentleness spread throughout your being. Each time you practice this meditation, you are giving yourself the comfort you may never have received as a child. You are rewriting your childhood story with love and compassion. With love and compassion, healing your childhood does not mean you will never feel sad, angry, or scared again. It only means you know how to embrace those feelings without letting them take over. You grow up, become stronger, and love yourself more. Every day, take a little time to listen to your feelings. Be kind to yourself the way you would be to a child. Do not hesitate to love and forgive yourself when you make mistakes. You will see that peace is not about erasing the past, but about having enough compassion to cherish every part inside you, even the most wounded and fragile. My final message to you: no matter what your past looks like, you are not a victim of it. You have the power to write the next chapter of your life with awareness, love, and compassion for yourself. If today you feel tired, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and remind yourself, I deserve to be at peace. I will patiently heal each old wound, little by little. Thank you for listening and joining me on this journey. If these words touched your heart, please share them with someone who needs support. You are not alone on your healing path. I believe, little by little, you will truly find peace in your mind and in your heart. I look forward to seeing you in the next message, where we will continue to nurture the seeds of peace and unconditional love together.